It's really awesome to be able to look back and say, we've started with this group of people who have never worked together before 4 years ago. And we've now formed working groups, we've formed functional groups that are working on data portals.
Probably the major accomplishment of HubMap is just bringing this consortia worth of people together. I'm a biologist, but I am not a computational scientist or a data analyst or I know what I want something to look like maybe on a website, but I certainly can't do that.
Yeah, so my main achievement I think is the validation system for the ASCT plus B tables. And I think that that system prompted me to think about how we could make more accessible views of the ontology products we build.
I think when I last looked, and this might have been last week, we had over 50 papers on bioRxiv for HubMap. And it's pretty awesome to be able to watch some of these folks just churn these papers out.
One of the big challenges is just collecting the data that we really need to now integrate all those data together to build the reference maps that we're looking to build that connect the molecular information with the spatial information across all these different types of molecules and assays. And that's a socio-technical challenge of setting expectations, of establishing standards in the consortium, and then doing it in a way that is win-win for everyone involved.
You're integrating data from many small labs. Other projects I've worked on, the standards have kind of emerged because of the dominance of very big institutions. And I think there's that balance between, like, I've got a minimal viable product and this is what I'm going to do in the next cycle of 4 months, versus I'm building a sustainable structure that is extensible and is going to be able to do all this integration work to build these cool tools. But every time that has to be focused on really clearly stated use cases, otherwise I think you're sunk.
There were certainly a lot of things that turned out as we expected in terms of data types that we could generate well, we could get lots of data, but could we also get groups who weren't necessarily the developers of the technology to also generate these data types? And I think we were pretty successful with that. We also ended up developing a number of new technologies along the way, which I think will be important for the next phase of HubMap. The next 4 years of the program will be what we described as being the production phase. So we'll prioritize generating data types that we know we can generate well, that we know how to integrate them into some model of the human body. And then the fourth phase is really in the last year of the program, which is how we think about transitions to some kind of sustainability.
I do want to see it more accessible, both for education and just for the person that's coming in because they're interested with this particular cell and they want to know how it changed from organ to organ or age to age.
As we're here at this demo day at the end of the first phase of the project, I see we're making progress towards that goal of starting to align with the work that Kadi and Rahul are doing to establish the framework for building these reference maps and connecting the data together in a way that will enable us to do that.
And something that really shows a proper linked open data approach where you can go very rapidly from I want to query the semantics, I want to query the metadata, to this is giving me a piece of data that I can do useful work with. I think that's the dream. Right now I'm going to sort of find data sets and then now I've got to mess around with how do I actually get to the data? Do I write to the person? Do I follow a link which then tells me to follow another link which then might end up at a dead end? Do I have a license? All of that stuff, that can be made frictionless.
So my dream in this time is to be able to establish a sustainable framework by which not only future projects that may follow HubMap, but also other projects throughout the world and other consortia that are working on similar problems can follow to one day have that full complete map of the human body at cellular resolution. That's not going to happen in 4 years.
I get the cool opportunity to be able to brag about all of the really awesome work that the scientists and the researchers and the technologists are doing. They're building pipelines and they're putting all of these really awesome tools together, and I get to tell everybody about it, my team, and that's really fun.